Hey everybody, welcome back to the T3 Performance YouTube channel. Brian here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do an oil change on the MK8 GTI. Today we're going to be using the extraction method, but I'm also going to lift up the car, remove the drain plug, and show you how effective it actually is. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into it. So you won't need too many tools to do the oil change, but something you might not already have is a 32mm socket. So you might have to go buy one beforehand. The 32mm socket's for the oil filter housing. You'll need a Torx 45 for the drain plug. You'll need a pick or a small screwdriver to replace the O-ring on the oil filter housing. You'll need a torque wrench to torque the fasteners. You'll need a funnel to pour in the new oil. Speaking of new oil, you'll need some of that with the 50800 specification. You'll need a new drain plug gasket, and you'll need an oil filter. One thing to note, if you are extracting the oil from your car, it will be a lot easier if your oil is up to temp, so I'd go take your car out for a drive beforehand. Loosen off the oil filter housing with your 32mm socket. Once fully loosened, wait a couple minutes for the oil to flow into the pan. Next, remove the oil cap and the dipstick. Remove the filter with a rag under it to catch any excess oil that will drip off. I like to use a small pick to remove the filter and the O-ring just like this. Coat the new O-ring in a thin film of oil before installing it into the oil filter housing. It's a good idea to drain off any extra oil that was in the filter housing at this time. Put the new filter in and click it into place. When installing the new filter, make sure to start by threading it in by hand and then torque it to 25 Newton meters. Snake the oil drain hose in through the dipstick until you feel it hit the bottom of the oil pan. It's pretty noticeable when you get there. When you open up the valve on the extractor, you'll see the drain hose fill with oil. While you're waiting for the oil to drain, now's a great time to top up washer fluid, check the coolant level, and check that the brake fluid is golden in color. Once all the oil is sucked out, you'll notice that the drain hose starts sucking in air with a bit of oil. I like to let this continue for a minute or two just to make sure I get out as much oil as possible. Now we're going to hoist up the vehicle and remove the drain plug to see how much oil we were able to get out by extraction. Use your T45 to remove the drain plug. We were super surprised to see how little oil came out. We did this comparison on a MK8 Golf R a few years back, and there was still about a quarter cup of oil that came out. Maybe it has something to do with the MK8 having a steel pan and the MK7 having a composite oil pan, but either way, there's so many galleries throughout the engine that used oil will stay in while doing an oil change regardless of method, so this difference is negligible. The oil that came out looks like it's around how much would be inside each head bolt. The extractor hoses come with an angle cut into the end, which causes it to only extract oil until the upper edge. We cut our hoses flat with a small slit in the end so that it can get out as much as possible. Clean off the sealing surface, put your new drain plug gasket on, and torque it to 30 Newton meters. The EA 888.4 has a different oil cap design with 3 locating tabs instead of the 4 that were on the previous generation. So we have to use a generic funnel to fill this one until the new tool comes in. Start by pouring about 5 1/4 liters of oil in and then check the dipstick while adding oil to get to the max line. Once there, put the dipstick in and the oil cap back on and start up the engine and let it idle for a few seconds. I use this time to check around the oil filter housing and make sure that there's no leaks. Wait a couple minutes after the engine is shut off to check the oil level so that the oil in the pan can settle. Add however much you need to get to the maximum line. Once you're all done, double check everything you touched under the hood to make sure that it is all back in place. Now on to resetting the service reminder. Turn the ignition to the on position by pressing the start button while your foot is not on the brake. On the right side of the steering wheel, press the right arrow button and then scroll to the travel time distance selection. Press the right arrow again. Scroll to long term and then hold the right arrow for 10 seconds. Release the button and scroll down to Reset Oil Change Service. Click OK and the cluster will ask you if you want to reset the oil change service. Click OK once more and the light will be reset.
And that's all. Now you can confidently change the oil in your Mark 8. Let us know in the comments section if you were surprised by how little oil came out after we extracted it. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, and we'll see you in the next one.